Alright guys, let's get it. I'm a little late again, but we're here for the show. We just watched Monday Night Raw right after the last Monday Night Raw before Mania. So guys, I want to hear your thoughts. Let me double check, make sure everything's good here. You guys can hear me. Everything's going to be alright. And we're looking good. We're looking fresh. Alright guys, let's kick off the show. 1 week, or how should I say this, 6 days from Mania. Give me your thoughts. Let me know. Here we go. Let's kick off the show, guys. Without further ado, here's your Raw review. Alright guys, we just witnessed the last Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania 34. I want to get your guys' thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you thought of any part of the show tonight. How do you feel going into WrestleMania 34? Are you guys excited for WrestleMania 34? What are your guys' thoughts? Alright guys, let's jump into tonight's show. We saw a couple of exciting things go down tonight. In my opinion, it was a pretty damn good Raw. Not a bad go-home show for WrestleMania. We got a couple of questions answered, and then there's those things that we didn't get answered exactly. You know, I think there's more unanswered questions going into Mania than we got really of answered questions. I expected this Monday Night Raw we were going to get every answer we needed to know going towards WrestleMania, but apparently not. What we just witnessed. Let's go. It starts the beginning of the Monday Night Raw. We saw Stephanie McMahon and Triple H have a face-off with Ronda Rousey and her tag team partner at WrestleMania, Kurt Angle. And these two kind of went back and forth a little bit. I think Stephanie and Triple H kind of carried the segment more. They had a lot of good stuff to say on the mic. It was kind of like more of a showdown, a Q&A style. It wasn't really a face-off. I mean, it is a face-off, but it was more of a Q&A with Jonathan Coachman in the middle. He really wasn't needed now that I think about it. He kind of just was there, and they kind of carried the segment. They had some good points. They played the authority role, Triple H and Stephanie. They said Ronda works for them. You know, this is her first WrestleMania, and it's going to be her loss. It's going to be her first match ever, and she's going to lose it at WrestleMania. Triple H would point out what I thought was perfect for this feud. He pointed out that Ronda Rousey lacks experience, and that's perfect. Why? Because Ronda Rousey has been talked about by the WWE Universe as, you know, she's new to the company. She doesn't have what it takes to be in the WWE, and making that transition from the UFC or mixed martial arts in general to the WWE isn't for her. You know, she's not great on the mic. We don't even know how good she is in the ring. People have judged her by the very few things she's done in the ring. So it was perfect, I think, in my opinion, for Triple H to point that out. As a fan, I always really like when the WWE can blur those lines of reality, you know, when they can sort of, how can I put this? You know, okay, so why I'm such a big fan of that is because as a filmmaker, somebody who loves and creates content and does film, like, and who's experienced in independent films and short films and whatnot, I really enjoy it when I can go watch a movie, and a movie's so good that it can take me out of the mindset of just thinking about how things are created, or, you know, get me out of that filmmaker mindset of thinking about the behind the scenes of what goes on, why they chose a crane shot, why they chose a wide shot, extreme wide, you know, all these filmmaker aspects of filmmaking. Whenever a movie can actually take me out of that and make me a fan of wanting to know and get invested in the characters, that's when I like it. And it relates to WWE. I love when WWE can really blur those lines of kayfabe, really get you to question, are what they're saying, is it real, is it a shoot? You know, this is what I love when the WWE can do this. Now, I understand they can't always do this. They have their comedy segments every once in a while, but I really enjoyed that, you know, Triple H brought up that good point that, you know, Ronda lacks experience, and that would cost her at WrestleMania, because it's something the WWE Universe has been talking about for a while, and it gets the WWE Universe involved in this feud going on here. So really like that he pointed that out. Another thing Kurt Angle just kind of kept saying she's gonna make you tap. He didn't have much to say back in response. That's why I was thinking to myself that Stephanie McMahon and Triple H are really carrying the segment. But another point Stephanie brought up, which would basically just kill Ronda, was her line when she said, "We're gonna beat you at WrestleMania, and we all know how you handle losses." And man, that definitely strikes a chord with Ronda Rousey. With the WWE Universe talking about consistently, once again, getting the WWE Universe involved, and how they consistently talk about Ronda Rousey and how she dealt with her losses in the UFC, and it crushed her. For WWE to bring that up, it brings in the universe. This is what they've been talking about. So it's perfect. It fires up Ronda Rousey. Hopefully she does go out there and proves everyone wrong. Hopefully, even just proves me wrong, because I'm not the biggest Ronda Rousey supporter. At first, when she came in, I was just like everybody else, saying, I'm concerned that Ronda Rousey is going to be terrible in the ring, and that's going to cost her. The fans are going to turn on her. But yeah, I really like that line that Stephanie said. She really brought out, I think, the anger in Ronda Rousey, or she will, and definitely got the WWE Universe involved by saying we know how she handles losses, and Triple H mentioning her lack of experience. This would then lead to a face-off with Ronda Rousey and Ronda Rousey, Kurt Angle, Triple H, and Stephanie, where they kind of played it off as a photo shoot, which they never do in the WWE. But it was interesting to see them kind of pull that out to really get, there's never a moment in WWE where we have a signing in the middle of the ring, or something to do with two people cutting a promo where it doesn't break out into a fight. So I thought that was a kind of interesting way to go about it. And then we see Ronda Rousey have this stare down with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Triple H attacks Kurt Angle from behind the head with his microphone. This gets Ronda involved. She sort of starts choking Triple H. And out of nowhere, Stephanie McMahon sort of picks up Ronda and throws her through the table, really putting the authority, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, with the momentum going into WrestleMania. Kind of signifies that maybe Ronda's gonna be put over at WrestleMania. I was thinking to myself when I was watching this segment, would it really be that bad for Ronda Rousey to lose at WrestleMania? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But what do you guys think? Do you think if Ronda Rousey lost at her first match in WrestleMania, would it really affect her, or would it be a good thing? Because I don't know. I definitely think she's gonna win. I don't think she's gonna lose, but I'm just kind of thinking, like, what if WWE pulls something out? We've seen Triple H beat Sting in the past at WrestleMania in his first WWE match. What if they did this with Ronda Rousey? What if they kind of screwed her up in some way? What if Kurt went heel? I don't know. Just kind of curious what you guys would think about that. I think Ronda's gonna win, but what do you guys think if Ronda Rousey ended up losing at WrestleMania? Would it affect her? Would the fans cheer her more? Would they feel bad for her if she kind of got screwed at WrestleMania instead of just her being put over at WrestleMania and easily making them tap out? Let me know what you guys think about that. What else did we have go down though? Besides this segment, was a good start, man. To me, it was a pretty damn good start. I enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting. Like I said, they never do those photo op things, so it was kind of a little cheesy, but it made the moment cool. They found a way to get them involved in this typical WWE thing where they're signing something and then it breaks out into a fight. We move on to Bayley versus Sonya Deville. Let me read this comment real quick. I think if she loses, it's just going to make the haters have more validation, and I don't think the company wants that. Might be true, maybe. I really think the haters, they're gonna hate either way. For Ronda, I think they're gonna hate more if she doesn't prove a lot of people wrong. It's gonna be hard to prove to the haters, to really change, I guess, the haters' minds on Ronda Rousey. But if she came out and really had an amazing performance, maybe you could change a couple of minds. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of haters no matter what. But yeah, I feel like if it was a screw-up finish, where she kind of lost, like I was saying, I don't know, it's a long shot. But what if Kurt Angle sold out? He kind of joined the Authority type thing, and then you have the fans kind of feel bad for Ronda because she didn't exactly lose cleanly. She kind of lost by a screw-up. Then maybe they can sort of jump on her side instead of, you know, Ronda Rousey just kind of getting pushed into everyone's eyes and like, you know, look, Ronda Rousey, she's the baddest woman on the planet. She wins every match. She's, you know, unless, you know, that's where they want to go. That might be where they're heading. And, you know, eventually she'll fight Asuka and they'll have the undefeated streak versus Ronda Rousey. I don't know. Maybe they'll both be undefeated in the WWE. I kind of see them going that way too because, you know, Ronda Rousey was undefeated herself in mixed martial arts, in a legitimate sports competition. So maybe they kind of bring that up. I don't know. I just thought something I was thinking throughout the segment. You know, what if Ronda lost? Because, you know, you got to think sometimes in WWE, like in both options. Sometimes it seems very predictable, such as, you know, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Everyone's saying Roman's going to win. Well, you know, let's look at the other option. What if Brock Lesnar won? You know, what if Brock Lesnar won and he left the WWE still, you know? Kind of just, you know, starts controversy and some conversations. But what else do we have going on? We had, they showed an image of the Women's Battle Royale. I pulled out this image because I'm not sure if I mentioned this last week, but I think they had this same image last time with the trophy here. What do you guys think about the trophy? Do you like it? Is it too bland? You know, what do you guys think? They showed it tonight. The first time we saw it in person, Bayley would stand next to it right before her match with Sonya Deville. Pretty quick match. I think Bayley got the win. This GIF right here, I thought this was pretty funny because WWE put this on their Twitter account. It was a complete botch. I don't know what that was supposed to be. It was either a crossbody, a tornado DDT. Some people were in the comments were saying it was supposed to be an arm drag. I don't know, but I just thought it was funny that WWE would put up a botch on their a GIF of a botch on their Twitter page. But Bayley would go on to win, and this would cause Sasha Banks to come out. By the way, it's official, you know, that Sasha Banks and Bayley, they're not going to have a one-on-one match. And maybe that was validated a couple of weeks ago, but with, you know, the backstage segment we got last week and whatnot, I kind of thought there was still a chance that they'd, you know, take them out to the Battle Royale and have them have their singles match. But it's official. They're going to be in the Battle Royale. They're going to settle their feud in the Battle Royale. They'll probably drag it on further than WrestleMania to a singles match they'll have on, like, the next pay-per-view. You know, honestly, it's kind of saddening to see that because I wish we would have saw it at WrestleMania. I know these two can put on a great performance. We've seen it at not just TakeOver. We've seen it in the past. With the right amount of time, they could definitely steal the show. I just hope that in the future they get another chance. But it is kind of sucks that we can't see it at the grandest stage of them all. But, yeah, it's official. They're going to handle things in the Battle Royale. But after the match Bayley had with Sonya Deville, we saw Sasha Banks, or actually we saw Bayley get attacked by the Absolution after winning the match. And this would cause Sasha Banks to come out and kind of rescue her. And then that would leave Absolution running off. Then we'd have Sasha tell Bayley to raise her hand for saving her. Bayley would shout back that she didn't need her help. And then things got a little aggressive when Sasha put her hands on Bayley's mouth. Bayley started just wailing on Sasha, and then this caused Absolution to get back in the ring, and they attacked both of them. So there goes their friendship still, you know, having some issues. The crowd was into it a little bit, I think. But Atlanta, they started off okay. I was gonna come on the show and say, you know, Atlanta was pretty hot tonight in the beginning, but then as time went on, I don't know, man, they kind of got quiet. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the John Cena segment. But yeah, so, you know, Bayley and Sasha got this thing going. It's all built up for the Memorial Battle Royale because they're not going to have their singles match. What else went down after this? We had, oh, well, here's a quick gif of Mandy Rose. I was just going to point out that I love Mandy Rose's finisher. It looks very aggressive. It reminds me of, I think it was like Michelle McCool or like Beth Phoenix. They kind of had like a move like this. A little bit different, but I like the way she does that move. It's a nice move for her. Very strong woman-like. Then we had Seth Rollins and Finn Balor have a great match. Not only did they have a great match, but you had The Miz on commentary, and he was great on the mic or on the commentary booth. He was talking about, you know, they mentioned that The Miz had his daughter born a few days ago, which we mentioned on the Showstopper show this Saturday. Congratulations to The Miz, and they told him congrats as well on commentary. He said he was a new man. He said that I think they had asked him Miz, with your daughter being born a week before WrestleMania, is that going to affect you going into your triple threat match where you're going to defend your Intercontinental title? And he said no. He said that was gonna motivate him because having his daughter, he wants her to look up to him as a role model. He wants to be a role model to his daughter. That was a great response, a great way to bring in his daughter, but at the same time, he's still focused on his triple threat match come WrestleMania. So he did great on the mic, but not only was he great on the mic, we had a great match by Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. They had some back and forth action. They had a couple of good spots. I really like how they sort of try to remake that spot where Finn Balor he took that buckle bomb on the barricade back in I don't remember what year, but it was in SummerSlam, and that was when Finn had won the Universal Championship as the first ever Universal Champ, and he took out his shoulder, and I liked how they kind of reenacted that, but this time Finn got out of that. Yeah, and the Miz is really good on commentary. He's usually perfect on the mic. Not again like not the greatest in the ring, but on the mic he could definitely kind of sell a match, and he's perfect. Yeah, the match was really good, man. The crowd was getting into it. It is a good sign to come for WrestleMania. Finn and Seth just always have this great chemistry in the ring. Like I said, it was back and forth. It ended with Seth finishing it off on Finn with the curb stomp. I don't even know the name of it. Some of them I think the commentators are just calling it the stomp or something. I think it's the curb stomp, but it was the curb stomp. But I don't know if they're still using that name or if that name's been banned. But the move still, he can still use it. I don't know, but he finished off Finn with the curb stomp. Finn was trying to go for the coup de grace, but he missed, and it eventually turned into the curb stomp. Seth would get the win over Finn, and then we'd have the Miz kind of go from the commentator table to on top of the commentator table, raising his Intercontinental title. I think this left a good mark on that feud heading into Mania. For the past couple of weeks, we've seen just Miz TV after Miz TV, but this week we really got some good action going on. I enjoyed that. Exciting stuff. It's almost like WWE really pulled out everything they got on the last week. Not everything, but they definitely pulled out a good stops. It's kind of like a person who procrastinates. You procrastinate. It's like if you're doing your homework, you go to school or something. You procrastinate week after week after week, and then in the last minute, you pull out you finish it up and whatnot. That's kind of what WWE did tonight. They pulled out in the last minute and delivered with a couple of these feuds. Like I said, it was pretty interesting Raw to me. It was a good go home show in my opinion. There were some on and off things, but we'll get more into it. What else went down? Let's see. We had after this we had a backstage segment with Paul Heyman and Kurt Angle, and these segments were a little odd because you had Kurt Angle go up to Paul Heyman, and he said, when you go out, or I don't know if he said when you go out there tonight, but he says, whatever you do tonight, don't aggravate Roman Reigns because I'm concerned about Brock Lesnar's well-being. This caused Paul Heyman to just start laughing because he was like, you're concerned about Brock Lesnar's well-being? And he was like, yeah, because Roman Reigns has been wanting to injure Brock for weeks now, or for what he's done to him in the past. So, Heyman just laughed it off and said, all right, you have my word. I won't say anything to aggravate Roman Reigns. So, yeah, we had a couple of those segments. There's another Roman Reigns segment later. Then we had a promo of Asuka's 908-day undefeated streak. They're really building up that undefeated streak heading towards Mania. I'm not sure if she has a chance of losing it. I think if anyone on the roster right now is a valuable threat towards Asuka's streak, it's definitely Charlotte. I mean, we've seen Charlotte push to the moon with her feud with Sasha Banks when they went back and forth with the title. Charlotte's definitely been pushed. So, like I said, I think she's a valuable threat to Asuka's streak. So that's the most interesting. I think it's gonna be a great match, man. I can't wait for that match. They're still building it up on both brands. It was kind of just a promo package. Then we got to what else did we get? We got a backstage segment. Okay, we had that. We already talked about that. We had the Bar. That's what happened next. We had the Bar come out and cut a promo on Braun Strowman's partner, or they started talking about how being a tag team, it's important to have a tag team partner because you can plan out things together. You can have a plan A, plan B, plan. They kind of just went on talking about why it's so important to have a tag team partner. This caused Braun Strowman to come out, and the whole question that the WWE Universe was asking themselves was, who's Braun Strowman's partner? Are we going to figure it out tonight? I know me and Gundam in the chat were kind of thinking, maybe they will go to WrestleMania and just reveal his partner at WrestleMania, and that made sense. And that's exactly what we got tonight. We kind of had a weird way of WWE going about this, a very unique way to kind of hold off one more week of revealing, who Strowman's partner is. They had Braun Strowman go out there, and he cut a promo at first saying, I know that they've been telling me that I need a tag team partner, and I can't go for the tag team titles unless I have a tag team partner. So I was backstage talking, and I found a partner for myself at WrestleMania, and he says, I'll show you my partner as long as one of you agrees to have a match with him tonight. So they Sheamus and Cesaro, they agree. They said, hell yeah, we'll have a match with him. Braun Strowman goes backstage, and he comes back to the ring. Corey Graves selling Braun Strowman was the funniest thing. Yeah, it really was. Actually, well, who is it? What's his name? Braun Strowman, I think it was. Out came Braun Strowman. Basically Braun Strowman just wearing some glasses and a cut sleeve button-down polo shirt or something. Corey Graves was, just like Gundam in the chat said, was selling the crap out of this. He sold it all the way until Braun Strowman took off his glasses and his shirt. And then we just saw the show. I was gonna say the show. The Bar just started attacking Strowman in the ring, but Braun Strowman got the upper hand. I thought they were definitely gonna go. In my mind, I was thinking, okay, they're gonna have Braun Strowman get beat up, and then out will come somebody and save him. I was really thinking to myself this whole time when Braun was cutting this promo. I was gonna agree with Gundam in the chat. I was thinking about his comment he made a couple of Monday Night Raw reviews ago, where he was saying that Samoa Joe could be his tag team partner, and that was kind of his prediction. I was thinking, yeah, that definitely makes sense. I could see Samoa Joe kind of coming out at this time, but we had this whole Braun Strowman thing go down, and yeah, it's not who we saw at all. I mean, it's not too late. It could be Samoa Joe at WrestleMania. They're really saving it and hyping it up to be a WrestleMania moment come WrestleMania, because we're not going to find out Braun Strowman's partner until WrestleMania. But, yeah, Braun Strowman got the upper hand by himself. What else went down? After this segment, we had Goldust versus Woken Hardy, who are both going to be a part of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. A quick match, Woken Hardy got the win. Kind of had a moment with the Andre the Giant trophy. How exciting is that? Not exactly the most exciting. We all know how the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale goes. Yeah, man, hopefully they don't botch the reveal, because I'm really interested in who it's going to be. Yeah, I think everyone's really, invested in this. I think the crowd really likes it. It's almost like, similar to the Undertaker and John Cena thing. We've all just been waiting and waiting. But, yeah, I don't know who it could be. Elias is already going to have his segment. It's been revealed. He came out earlier tonight talking about how he's going to have the biggest concert at WrestleMania. That's obviously possibly just setting up one of those segments like we talked about on Showstopper on Saturday, where Elias will be in the ring playing his guitar, and then we'll have a legend come out, or we'll have just one of those WrestleMania moments where they'll start beating him up, or something will go down. It'll be one of those in-ring segments. So that kind of writes off Elias, I think. I kind of think that it's got to be somebody else. Could it be Samoa Joe? That's the thing, because I've been hearing that Samoa Joe, when he comes back after WrestleMania, it might be the night after WrestleMania, and he's kind of going to have a feud with Roman Reigns. That's kind of suggesting that Roman Reigns wins WrestleMania. He's the Universal Champion. Then we have Samoa Joe and Roman kind of go back and forth. Where Roman puts up his Universal Championship. That's kind of that's way in the future, but not really way in the future. But that's after Mania. That's post WrestleMania. Right now we're talking WrestleMania. But I don't know. We'll see. I agree. It's kind of it's difficult to say who Braun Strowman's partner could be. Um, will Braun Strowman lose? That's another kind of a question right there. I think everyone's kind of assuming that Braun Strowman, whoever partner he chooses, whether it be from Kurt Hawkins to someone like Samoa Joe, it's everyone's kind of assuming that he's gonna win, but there is a possibility he still loses, and then he just he can still destroy Sheamus and Cesaro in the middle of the ring, kind of have that sort of WrestleMania moment, but he leaves no championship around his waist. Um, so where were we? We were at Goldust and Woken Hardy. This is where we get to John Cena. Is there a chance that Strowman has a nobody as a partner and it just sets him up on moving to bigger things again? It could, but WWE, they've been building up this match for quite some time. It'd be kind of odd for them just to not have the match. And Michael Cole definitely made it. He definitely stated at the end of that segment, that if Braun doesn't have a partner heading into Mania, then he has no match for the tag team titles, unless come WrestleMania, something comes up, they have a backstage segment, or he gets the ability to go out there on his own. Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like it's booked for the match to happen. They showed the graphic with Strowman and his mystery partner, whoever it could be. It's just interesting to see what they're gonna do. It's one of those things where we're just gonna have to wait and see, I guess. Unless any new speculation comes out and kind of confirms anything. So we had John Cena. Like he has a partner. It's just nobody significant, and it causes him to lose. Yeah, that's what I would think. That could be definitely a way to go with it, because that's my thing is, I think that way he can move back into the main. Yeah, exactly. I think that's all this really is too, is they don't want to put Strowman in a situation where he's gonna look bad at WrestleMania. He can lose and still look strong. Like I said, like he can lose the match, come and then still just destroy Cesaro and Sheamus. They can do that thing where he kind of leaves the ring and then he goes back into the ring and then he just power slams him again, and then maybe he picks him up, power slams him on the announce table. He can just go crazy with them. He can beat him up throughout the whole show if they want to have those funny Braun Strowman backstage segments, and he can still look strong. So him losing the match at WrestleMania could be a thing. He could just have a nobody as a partner that ends up causing him to lose. Yeah, that definitely makes sense, because I do want to see Braun Strowman in the main event scene, and I think the WWE does want to have Braun Strowman there. It's just that you got Roman Reigns and Brock. They're having their thing. They're in the main event picture. So once Brock Lesnar's out of the picture, he's gone from WWE most likely, back in the UFC, whatever he decides to do. Then you just have Roman. Then you can kind of put some, not Samoa Joe, but Braun Strowman back in the main event picture. I think we definitely, I think 2018, man, before 2018's over, I think we see Braun Strowman have that Universal Championship around his waist sometime. That big push for Strowman is definitely, there's already a push for Strowman, but it's not exactly a main event push yet, until I think like Lesnar's out the way and Roman can have his title for a while. That's what I think. But moving on, we had John Cena come out and cut a promo. This was really interesting to me, man, because week after week we had John Cena cut promos and say, do something, Undertaker, and we never saw the Undertaker. We saw no response. And as fans, I think a lot of people thought, okay, 1 week before Mania, we have to see Undertaker show up tonight. Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't WWE want to have this advertised as this is going to be a match at WrestleMania, So we got no answer tonight. Again, very interesting, kind of odd segment. We saw Cena just came out and said time was up. He had tried his best to summon the Undertaker for WrestleMania, and in this case, silence is a no. He said he spoke to Michael Cole earlier before the show, and Cole asked him simply, why don't you just enter the Battle Royale, or be Braun Strowman's partner, or enter one of those triple threats or fatal four-ways. Cena said he had lost the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and Fastlane, so entering one of those matches wouldn't be like deserved. He didn't deserve a chance like that, and he would just be taking someone else's spot. The way John Cena speaks on the mic is perfect, man, because John Cena can say almost anything, and just the way he says it with determination and confidence, he can really get his point across. And I think he really like gets everyone in the crowd and in the universe to sit on their ass and just listen to what he's saying. It really like he really gets you kind of on the edge of your seat in a way. Great on the mic, and he can really build up and hype a match. Like I said, but he went on to say that he's going to go to WrestleMania, kind of something we've seen John Cena kind of cut in the past. He said the same thing. He's going to go to WrestleMania as a fan. He said he's damn proud of it. He said he's tried for 4 weeks. He got no response. He kind of stopped mid-sentence and said, wait, we didn't try in Atlanta tonight. So he said, come on, Atlanta, let's summon The Undertaker. He repeated, he kind of like told Atlanta over and over and over, come on, get louder, get loud. This is my point. What I was going to say in the beginning of the show. Atlanta they kind of seemed great to me in the beginning of the show, but then around this segment, they were really quiet. I saw people sitting down still. I thought there would definitely be a lot of people on their feet for this. Yeah, all this build kind of did really lead to nothing. It's still, I guess, I don't know if it's you could say it's still early to say that, but I mean, it kind of is, Do we really expect John Cena to come out like on SmackDown tomorrow and have The Undertaker show up? I don't think that even happened. I think they would have, if Undertaker was to return, they would have had it on Monday Night Raw tonight. So with Undertaker not returning, is like, this is just a really confusing situation where I have no idea what the hell WWE is doing. And a part of me likes that, because a part of me still thinks, WWE won't go as far as to have John Cena cut promos week after week after week about Undertaker without actually having Undertaker eventually show up, setting up John Cena versus Undertaker. But unless last minute time changes, Undertaker found out he's not medically cleared to compete or something, and they had to change plans on the last minute, then I don't know. It's just one of those odd situations where we all kind of expected Undertaker to appear at one of these weeks before Mania, and then once we found out tonight that he didn't show up at all, it's kind of like, well, what does WWE have left? Can they really have just John Cena be in the crowd at WrestleMania or something, or do some odd segment in the ring where the Undertaker finally does come out and then they have their match? That sounds like too odd to me that WWE would do something like that, because like I said in the beginning, why would WWE not advertise this? This is a huge match. This is a dream match. Why wouldn't they go out on the last week at least of WrestleMania and announce John Cena versus The Undertaker, WrestleMania 34? Here, ladies and gentlemen, this is a dream match. Here you go. So many people buy the WWE Network. You would think that that's what they would do to sell WrestleMania, but that's not what we got. So, I mean, we only got one more day, I guess, of WWE main roster, which is tomorrow night on SmackDown. But I don't know. I don't know if we actually see Undertaker come out on SmackDown. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting situation. They tried to summon Undertaker in Atlanta. Like I was saying, the crowd wasn't that loud, but John Cena tried to get him as loud as he could. And then he just walked out. And I was watching this, and from the get-go, just knowing that John Cena isn't the main event of tonight on Raw, I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. I think I tweeted about this and was saying, this is odd, because you would think that The Undertaker returning would be the last thing on the show. So definitely got me thinking already, wow, this isn't the last thing on the show. Something's up. I had been hearing throughout the day, too, from different websites of WWE News and stuff, that, Undertaker wasn't spotted. But I didn't believe any of that. I was thinking, okay, Undertaker's not spotted, but, was Ronda Rousey spotted when she returned to the Royal Rumble? So, I thought, okay, they're going to sneak in The Undertaker somehow into the building so he's not shown by anybody. And then, wow, surprise, Undertaker is actually here. But, again, we didn't get that. So, I don't know where WWE goes from here. Like I said, a part of me likes that, because I feel like the WWE will somehow get to that match. They've gone too far with this feud to not even have it go anywhere. It's just so weird. That's exactly what I thought too, when it wasn't the last thing. I had a feeling Taker wasn't going to show up. Yeah, exactly. And even after the segment, I kept thinking to myself, is there a way they sort of go through everything they have to do on Monday Night Raw, and then Cena comes back out or something. I was just thinking, there's got to be something to this. What's the catch? There's got to be something. Um, it's gone from thinking this feud is very predictable to just like, John Cena's gonna come out and say, I don't have a WrestleMania match. You're gonna hear the Undertaker's bell toll, and Undertaker's gonna come out and they're gonna stare at each other, look at the WrestleMania sign, there's their match. To unpredictable, what the hell is gonna happen? So time will only tell, but I don't know what's left for them to do with this. I guess we'll just move on. What else do we have? Kurt Angle, would he have another backstage segment, I believe, but this time with Roman Reigns? Yeah, he'd have a backstage segment with Roman Reigns. Again, it was a little weird that Kurt Angle kept going, kind of holding these guys back. You would think it was just going to be like a stare down or something, but, Kurt was playing the role of he was trying to hold these two away from each other until WrestleMania so none of them will get hurt. He went to Roman and, he said, well, I spoke to Paul. He said he promised that he's not going to say anything to antagonize you. Roman responded with, and you believe him? It's Paul Heyman. And he asked if Brock Lesnar was there. Kurt said, yeah, Brock's here. He said, and then Roman responded with, okay, well, then I'm going to be out there tonight, or I'm going to stay here. So Kurt begged him not to, get involved with Brock or anything and hold it until Mania. Roman said he can go sell that peace treaty at the pawn shop where he sold his Olympic gold medals. I don't know, calling Kurt Angle a wimp, I guess, for not letting him go at it before WrestleMania, whatever. We'll get back to Roman, later, and Brock. They ended off the show tonight. We had Elias. He had an in-ring segment. He's heading into Mania with no match. Like I said, I think he's just gonna be a WrestleMania segment. He'll get his over. He's very over with the crowd, so he'll get his moment. He'll have a concert in the middle of the ring. They can have I'd imagine some legend. Well, Mark Henry's going into the Hall of Fame. Maybe they have Mark Henry go out there and just crush Elias, and maybe they have multiple. The rumor was that The Rock was a chance of going out there. We've seen The Rock have those moments in the middle of the ring where he played a guitar himself. He's done that plenty of times, so I think The Rock is definitely a viable option to interrupt Elias come WrestleMania. Then he had a quick match with Kurt Hawkins. He won that real quick. What else did we have go down? We had a Braun Strowman. We had a funny Braun Strowman backstage segment. This was funny. Braun Strowman would just throw Kurt Hawkins all the way through that just wall right there. The segment went by, Kurt Hawkins just kind of approached Braun Strowman, who was wearing a Pick Me Braun shirt, and he told Strowman he's assuming that him and Braun Strowman can't be in the same place at the same time. So if you're looking for a partner, you could choose me. And Strowman said, "What's your win to loss record?" So, obviously Kurt Hawkins is like, "Well, I'm gonna be honest, it's not so good." But being your partner, that doesn't matter because you could be the big break that I finally needed. And then just Braun Strowman responded by just grabbing him, throwing him through that wall right there. A little humorous, but I mean, I always love when they do this stuff with Braun Strowman. It's funny, man. I love seeing this stuff. Not a lot of people can pull this off, but Braun Strowman, with all those backstage segments they have him do, some of them are a little over the top. Braun Strowman tipping over those big 18-wheelers and stuff. But this segment this was funny. I enjoyed that. And I think he even said, there's your big break right there. What else do we have go down? We had Nia Jax. We had Nia Jax. We had Nia Jax have a sit-down interview with Renee Young. Building towards her match with Alexa Bliss. She kind of spoke about how she was feeling a lot of sorrow when Alexa, somebody she trusted, would turn on her and say all these bad things about her and her size and be a bully to her. But that, she's Nia Jax. She looked in the mirror and she said she's Nia Jax and she's not going to take shit from anyone. Then we would have, I think that's all she really said before we would see Alexa Bliss and Mickie James versus Asuka and Dana Brooke. A very odd, matchup with having Asuka in a match with Dana Brooke. tag team up against Mickey James and Alexa. But of course, Asuka would get the win. This would cause um, Alexa and Mickey James to attack Asuka and get the upper hand on Asuka, and then they would start beating up Dana Brooke as well. You'd have Nia Jax run to the ring and just she'd catch Alexa before she could escape, but then Mickey James would start kicking Nia Jax, so that would cause Alexa to get loose. Alexa would run away, get up to the entrance, while Mickey James was left in the ring with Nia, and Nia would just destroy Mickey James with a Samoan drop. What else do we have happen here? I think we went to the main event, man. That was quick. I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know if I'm missing anything. Kind of sped through it too. If I ever speed through something, you guys feel free to stop me. Sometimes I might just go too fast around these things. We had, yeah, man. So we came to the ending. Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar would have a backstage segment right before going out there to the ring. And Kurt Angle would try to stop him one more time by saying, you know, hold it off until Mania. Paul Heyman says, look, Kurt, I'm not going to say anything bad about Roman. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to talk positive about Brock's opponent at WrestleMania. And I'm going to sell WrestleMania. 1 week before WrestleMania, I'm going to go out there and sell WrestleMania. They went out there, of course, did the opposite. Talked complete trash about Roman Reigns. Talked complete trash about the WWE Universe. You know, said that Brock... they even had some superstars, actually. They were guarding off the entrance to avoid Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar having the confrontation. And then we'd see Paul Heyman just talk down about those superstars. He mentioned that they didn't have enough to even lace up the boots of Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar didn't care about the WWE Universe. He'll be saying hello to them from the UFC after WrestleMania. And then he dropped a bomb on everyone. He said if Brock Lesnar somehow slips on a banana or somehow loses at WrestleMania in some way, shape, or form, that the WWE Universe will never see Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman on WWE Monday Night Raw. So is it confirmed is the question, you know. Is Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman done after WrestleMania? Is this the last time we ever see Paul Heyman ever cut a promo in WWE? Is this the last time we've seen Brock Lesnar on Monday Night Raw? We don't know. I mean, come WrestleMania, we'll find out. But Paul Heyman dropped that bomb by saying if he loses at WrestleMania, it's basically a career on the line match because Brock's done with WWE and so is Heyman. Yeah, so then we had just, you know, Paul Heyman go on to just say, Roman, let's just face it, you're Brock's bitch. This would cause Roman Reigns to come out, and he would approach those superstars that were on the entrance, that were blocking the way. He would try to go left, they would move left. He would try to go right, they'd move right. He got a mic. He said, are y'all really going to protect that part-time bastard? And then that got the superstars talking. And then they opened up a way for Roman Reigns. You know, kind of assorting that, you know, they don't care. Screw Brock Lesnar. Everyone's against Brock Lesnar as he's on his way out to come towards WrestleMania. Even the WWE superstars in the locker room. You know, nobody wants the part-timer here. Roman Reigns would go down to the ring, and we would see Brock Lesnar get a chair, and Roman Reigns would just Superman punch over and over and over. I think he Superman punched him like 5 times, as much as that gif is going on and on. But he just Superman punched him, laid out Brock. I didn't think Roman Reigns was going to get the upper hand, really, before WrestleMania. And actually, that's not what we got at all, because Roman Reigns would Superman punch him like 5 times. He'd lay him out. Then he'd get the Universal Championship. He'd pick it up and hold it in the air, and when you least expect it, Brock Lesnar would get back up and F5 Roman Reigns, truly giving Brock Lesnar the last momentum heading into WrestleMania. In my opinion, you know, that's just another sign that Roman Reigns is being put over at WrestleMania. We will see Roman Reigns, you know, pick up the Universal Championship. Not a huge shocker, I don't think, but I think we're in for a few surprises come WrestleMania. There's still a lot of unanswered questions, a lot more than I thought we'd have, especially with Monday Night Raw. You know, I feel like the whole, like, I keep going to the John Cena thing, man, but That's still the most shocking thing coming out of Monday Night Raw to me, like that we didn't see the Undertaker make an appearance. I know it's a stretch, but he said he wouldn't see him on Raw again. So is there a yeah, that's also what I remember thinking about too, because he mentioned Raw, but he didn't say anything about SmackDown, or he didn't even just say WWE in general. So there is a chance, I guess. Maybe there's a chance. Oops, my mistake. I'm playing the intro. My mistake. But yeah, maybe there is a chance that we see Paul Heyman go to SmackDown. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he goes to be the manager of somebody. Maybe he goes to be the manager like Oscar, who moves to SmackDown or something. I don't know. But it's hard to see Paul Heyman not by the side of Brock Lesnar. You know, I think it'll be a different kind of reaction, kind of like the way it was with who was he with? I think Curtis Axel at one time, and then he was with Cesaro. You know, that didn't work. There's been a couple of people they tried to put him. It only worked with, you know, really Brock Lesnar and CM Punk. But, you know, even with CM Punk, he didn't need Paul Heyman. CM Punk was a great talker and a great performer, man. You know, speaking of CM Punk, it's so rare that you see a talent like that can cut a promo and also be so good in the ring. You know, nothing against AJ Styles, but AJ Styles is great in the ring. I don't want to say mediocre on the mic, but, you know, he's not the greatest on the mic. But, you know, you had someone like CM Punk, man, who they kind of let go. And it sucks because I was a big CM Punk fan. But, you know, CM Punk was just great on the mic and in the ring. But, you know, yeah, back to your point. It is a bit of a stretch, but I don't know. WWE's done a bunch of crazy things, man. You never know. I think it's up to Paul Heyman, man, whether or not he wants to stay or just retire and put up his boots, I guess you'd say, even though he's not a competitor. A lot of unanswered things, though, man. So I'm still just here sitting, like, right after Monday Night Raw thinking, what are the possibilities? What can WWE do to get Undertaker and John Cena officially announced before Mania? Because you already got, like, Strowman. Okay, Strowman, I can understand that. Strowman has a WrestleMania moment where he goes out there and says, I found a partner, you know, and reveals his partner. Shinsuke needs someone on... Yeah, exactly. Shinsuke, too. Yeah, Shinsuke definitely needs someone on the mic. If he had Paul Heyman, that would be perfect. Especially if they were looking to push Shinsuke after Mania, where, you know, Shinsuke wins the belt and then maybe Styles goes to Raw or something. They could definitely have Shinsuke, you know, but it's still different than, you know, Brock, because Brock's, like, more of a threat. And then Heyman would have to go from being, like, the threat to, you know, Shinsuke, who's more of a face character and whatnot. But, I mean, I don't know. I want to know, dude, like, what is everybody saying on, like, Twitter and stuff about this Monday Night Raw? Is everyone thinking about The Undertaker and everything like I am, or... Will The Undertaker... Oh, WWE tweeted... Or WWE WrestleMania tweeted this out 18 minutes ago. Will The Undertaker, in fact, return to challenge John Cena in a dream match this Sunday at WrestleMania? See, that's weird. WWE to tweet out if The Undertaker's going to show up at WrestleMania and, like, accept his challenge. You know, I would have thought he would accept it. If they announced The Undertaker on SmackDown, it would shock the world. But if they were to make the match happen, I don't know how they would approach it now. Yeah, it's very odd that, I mean, like, even WWE WrestleMania, their Twitter account, they're tweeting out stuff like Undertaker to return, or not Undertaker to return, but will Undertaker in fact return to challenge? You know? So, like, they're still leaving the door open for the match. It's not like it's been written off completely. Brock Lesnar clearly oversold punches too much. That was kind of funny how he was taking those Superman punches. He did kind of oversell them a little bit. Where is The Undertaker? WWE, you're making us fool. What about if the match will actually happen at all? I mean, or I wonder if the match will. I mean, Undertaker didn't show up on the Go Home Raw, so is it going to be SmackDown or Impromptu match at Mania? Yeah, people are just very confused. I'm more annoyed with the lack of The Undertaker. Be careful what you ask for, John. You may get The Undertaker. Blah, blah, blah. You wasted our time. You lost my respect. You are a shit. Cena is right. Egomaniac. Damn. No kayfabe. If Undertaker loses at WrestleMania, he should burn his bike and denim vest to close the show. WrestleMania is not a WrestleMania without Undertaker. See, a lot of fans are confused just as much as us. Shaking my head, Undertaker should have came out tonight. Fuck this shit. Some of these people, man. I can't wait until my boy John Cena buries the Undertaker. Anything would have been better. I've had multiple friends who are casual fans tuning in for the go home ask me why Undertaker won't be at WrestleMania. Such a dumb tactic. They could have gave a little tease without him actually showing up. It's pretty interesting, man. Everyone's kind of on the same page of like, what is WWE doing with this? We'll see what WWE does, man. Are they gonna pull out something out of the hat that's gonna shock everybody and make us say, wow, they really got us, you know? Or is it just gonna be like, I don't know. But I don't know. What is WWE gonna do? Well, I guess we'll find out come WrestleMania, or let's wait till SmackDown first, because I know it's a long stretch and it's a long shot, but SmackDown is tomorrow. Let's not make any assumptions. Let's try to wait till SmackDown. Let's see what they do on SmackDown, and if no Undertaker's on SmackDown too, well then we'll just have to wait till Mania. A lot of people are angry, man. They wanted closure tonight, but got nothing. Yeah, they got nothing, man. I agree, man. I'm the same way. I was really thinking we were gonna get Undertaker and they would, close the gap of it's official. This is the match we're gonna get, but we're here sitting here clueless. What the hell is gonna happen? Let me see if I missed anything. Let me go through my notes real quick. We talked about, I think, everything. We had that. It was an overall, man. It was a pretty good match. A good Raw. A lot of interesting things went down, but still a lot of unanswered questions. I think they started off better. It's always the first hour of Monday Night Raw that's good. I think I tweeted that too. Like, I was like, the first hour of Raw is good. Will they keep it up? They kind of did. It kind of was interesting. I think it's confirmed. Brock and Roman are the main event, as they were the main event tonight. Pretty sure that's the main event. Maybe, I don't know. It is a long shot, I guess, in another way. But what if the people backstage, they didn't want John Cena and Undertaker to be on Raw tonight because they would have overshadowed, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns? Maybe they thought if they have that go down, then Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar is not going to look like the actual main event. I don't know. Just got to look at every direction. I hope you all realize that Undertaker will call out Cena at WrestleMania. It's the only option kind of now, unless he comes out on SmackDown. What if Braun's partner is Undertaker? To all the people who think Undertaker is turning up on SmackDown tomorrow, somebody laughing. I don't think a lot of people want to believe that the Undertaker is going to come out on SmackDown tomorrow, but you go through the options, and the only two options are, in my opinion, you have Undertaker show up on SmackDown and accept the challenge, or you have him show up at WrestleMania. You're not going to see the Undertaker accept it on social media or some crap. You know what? The match that makes the most sense to open WrestleMania is Undertaker versus John Cena. Fits right in with John's promos about everyone kind of eclipsing him during this whole build, not wanting to take anyone's thunder, but he's still not going to give up on Taker. Interesting. Why are y'all trying to keep John Cena relevant? Undertaker is old. Let him rest in peace. No pun intended. I would have WWE confirm Undertaker inducting Kid Rock, having Cena call it out on SmackDown social media to no reveal, then interrupt Taker. I forgot about the Hall of Fame. I know about the Hall of Fame. I just forget that it's like right before Mania. Yeah, man, just a lot of people confused. People are just constantly talking about this online. Undertaker, where you at, my guy? There is no hope for... Oh, that's something else. I was reading about it. Read something else. Alright, guys. Well, I guess there's not too much to say. We already kind of went over everything. We'll see what goes down tomorrow night on SmackDown. Once again, guys, my schedule for this week is all week I'm pretty much doing something or uploading something. Monday Night Raw review. We've been through the Monday Night Raw review. Tuesday, SmackDown review. Wednesday, I'm going to be uploading that Vince's Greatest Creation video, WrestleMania. video, kind of documentary, you know, kind of a video about Vince McMahon's father and Vince and how he created WrestleMania and how it, you know, it changed the world of wrestling forever. That's gonna be going up Wednesday. Thursday, I'm gonna have that showstopper. I know it says it on the screen right now, Saturday showstopper at 9 o'clock, but for this week and this week only, we're gonna change things up. I'm gonna have showstopper this Thursday, and it'd probably be better if I just brought up the schedule on the screen. I wish I had it here. I don't even know if I have it here anymore. I do not. I don't know where I put it, but there goes me being unprofessional right now. Anyways, Thursday showstopper around 9 o'clock. I have it on my Twitter account if you guys want to see the schedule. The World Wrestling TWOW show on Twitter. Friday, I'll be here for the WrestleMania and TakeOver review. Saturday, NXT TakeOver New Orleans. I'll be here for the review right after the show. And then Sunday, the biggest night, the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania 34. You know you guys can find me here for that. I don't know how soon I'm going to be here, as I usually watch it at a friend's house. But I will be, as soon as possible, I'll be here to start the show. And we'll break down everything about WrestleMania, man. Awesome, man. Looking forward to the prediction show. Yeah, man, join us, man, for Friday. All this stuff is like crazy in my head, man. It's such a different schedule. I'm trying to get things right. But Friday night, I think 9 o'clock it is, Central Time. So whatever time that is to you, that's when we'll be here live. Appreciate it if you join us, man. I do appreciate you always being here for the show. You really help me out as always. And I guess I'll be heading off, guys. Thanks for anyone who tuned into the live stream tonight. Always feel free to join in the chat and let us know what you guys thought about WrestleMania. Let us know what you thought about the show tonight, what you thought about Raw. If you're watching this in the future, let us know your thoughts. I want to know your guys' thoughts on The Undertaker, because that's the main thing I'm going to be thinking throughout the whole week until we see the damn Undertaker, because I don't know what they're doing with him. But, yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts. That's going to be it for me, guys. You've been watching the World Wrestling Show with your host, Jake Randy. As always, I will see you guys tomorrow night after SmackDown Live. All right, guys. I'll see you. Take care.